Hi, everybody, and welcome to Word Affinity, a podcast which has everything to do with words. I'm your host, Sarah Singh Bisht, and today's 3 Minutes of Potter is going to be me diving into the history of one of the biggest radical extremist groups of all time, the Death Eaters. I know this will take a long time as I will be covering everything from their first reign to their defeat, so I'm gonna make it in parts. Let's start! So, who were the Death Eaters? The Death Eaters was the name given to the most extreme supporters of Voldemort and his beliefs. The group mostly included wizards and witches who were radical pure-blood extremists who believed that the only wizards that should have the right to live are pure-bloods and that they should rule over muggles. I know it's extreme, but nothing seems too much, not even killing approximately 200 people per day when your leader is the greatest dark wizard to live. So the Death Eaters practiced the dark arts recklessly, even enjoyably and without regard to or fear of the wizarding law. This group was used by Voldemort in both the First and Second Wizarding Wars and became known as his elite force. Now, Voldemort needed a form of communication that was as scary as this circle of his. What would he do? So he decided to implement the best and easiest form of communication he could think of. He burned an image of a skull with a snake coming out of its mouth onto their left forearms and started calling it the Dark Mark. Wow, Voldemort, great choice of communication, but have you ever heard of something called an owl that normal people used to communicate with? Okay, so whenever Voldemort touched one of the dark marks, each of the Death Eaters felt it and it signaled for them to apparatus to the leader's side. He also gave them a very in trend and stylish uniform to wear, black hoods and masks with snake-like eye slits to cover the faces. Now we have seen the great communication and fashion choices made by Voldemort. Let's see how the Death Eaters came to be. During Voldemort's time at Hogwarts, he formed a group of Slytherin students. They thought they were his friends, but in real, Voldemort felt no real attachment to any of them. He lacked the desire for true camaraderie. Now this group, they were like your average bullies, but with a bit more violence and horrific deaths. According to Dumbledore, who taught Transfiguration at that time, they were a mixture of the weak seeking protection, the ambitious seeking glory, and the thuggish seeking a leader who could show them more refined cruelty, and were considered to be the forerunners of the Death Eaters since most, if not all, indeed became the first Death Eaters. Voldemort, whom we all know was quite the charming guy at that time, due to his good looks and his impeccable manners, manipulated these students to do his bidding, and they enjoyed it a lot. Their acts led to several gruesome incidents throughout the years, but due to Voldemort's discretion, none were traced back to the model student and his so-called friends. So that was all for today. I will start with the participation of the Death Eaters in the First Wizarding War in the next episode. If you like this podcast, make sure to rate, review, and follow us. If you're listening on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.